I'm 1,000 pieces, still standing tall, a voice in the chaos. I've lived it all. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, a friend in the night, holding a broken, still holding a lie. Shells in my pocket, dreams in my hands, building something they don't understand. The crafter of hope from shattered days, finding my strength in a million ways. They don't see the tears fall down in the shower, they don't know the pain behind the power. They only see me when I'm shining bright, not the battles I fight every night. But still I rise through the fire they made, through the hate, through the words they threw in my face. I'm still here, I'm still strong, this is where I belong. Mommy ramblings in my name, I built this boy full of pain. Every rebel that stayed by my side, you're the reason I survive. Still I rise, still I stand, with a broken heart and steady hand. They try to tear me down piece by piece, like I don't deserve a moment of peace. Was it just cause I didn't fit the mold, so they threw their stones and turned so cold? There are things I'll never say out loud, the kind of pain I don't need a crowd, but I carry it deep where the silence lives, and still find a way to give and give. And I smile when I go live like I'm okay, but they don't see the price I pay. I'm missing you with every breath I take, my sweet boy, my heart still breaks. But still I rose for the fire they made, through the hate, through the words they threw in my face. I'm still here, I'm still strong, this is where I belong. Mommy ramblings, this is me. Every lad still chasing dreams, every rebel that never walked away. You're the light that got me through the grave. Still I rise, still I stare, with your memory in my head. God, you carried me when I was weak, when I couldn't stand, you lifted me more times than I could ever say. You made a way, you made a way. And I've got dreams that won't let go, a foundation built, some love I know. For my son, for the words he played, I'll turn my loss into something that remains. Yeah, I rise, now I'm stronger than before. Every scar just opened up a door. I'm still here, hear me now. I won't break, I won't bow. Mommy rambling, loud and clear. This is my voice, this is my year. Every rebel, every heart, you've been with me from the start. Still I rise, still I fight, turning darkness into light.
I'm still your mom, and I'll build something beautiful from all this pain.
Oh, Denise, I'm glad you're here. Hold on. Hold on a minute. I gotta get back to my music. Hold on a minute. Where's my music coming from?
The lights go low, the clock strikes
on.
9. Another mystery, another line.
Hold on, we're not doing True Crime Saturday night. But thank you, Denise. I did see that you sent me a super chat, so I want to play you a song. Thank you very much. That was very generous of you. Happy Easter, everybody. It is Easter now.
Whoa, super chat, look at you. Sending love, we see it too. Thank you, Rambler, shining bright. Mommy ramblings up tonight. Lights are glowing
Thank you very much, Denise. Okay, now let me get this on and say hello. What a day. So let me get back to the live chat. Hello, Heart Made Wise. Hi, Denise. Hi, Tree Dog. Hi, Mr. Wu. Hi, Bonaboo. Is that Bonaboo? Hi, Bonaboo. Hi, Sandra. Okay. So this, this is probably, but, oh gosh, there I am. I've got a million thoughts. But remember I told you that there was some kidnapping about this elderly woman in South Carolina, North Carolina. It was South Carolina. The guy took her, he brought her to North Carolina, and then he said he was going to let her go, but then right before, that she was going to get rescued because they got her location or something. It was just a mix-up. He shot her execution style and killed her. And I told you about that. So, like, when you look at similarities and about how, like, not leaving your house. So, the actress that starred in this Lifetime movie about a real kidnapping has come and said, hey, this is similar to Nancy Guthrie. Now, is it a shameless plug? Right? Because now they're saying, oh, watch it on here. And I do want to watch it because maybe I've seen it, maybe I haven't. It was 2017. It was a Lifetime movie. It was, let me see what the name of it was. Oh, boy. Let me see here. Nancy Travis is the actress. And she's the one that's saying now there's these similarities. It was called Rescued by Faith. And I guess it was a Lifetime movie. It was the Connie and Larry Van, I guess it's Oosten story. But so let's see what she says is so similar and see if we think it's similar to Nancy Day, what are we, 63? Let's see. So, man, I don't want to watch that. I want to go to... Actually, I think it was also on something on Apple TV. And it's been books, Rescued for a Reason, Rescued by Faith. What else? Larry and Connie Van Oosten story. Okay, so the TV movie, now they're saying 2026 now. They were from Erie, Illinois. And I'm trying to get over here. Here's the real kidnapper. Okay, here we are. Shipper. Kidnapper got 60 years for the kidnapping. Okay, so Larry Van Oosten was roused from a deep sleep by a masked man dressed in black holding a handgun and talking through a voice-altering device. He fired a stun gun at him, and Larry thought he was confronting a terrorist. In fact, a walking nightmare for him and his wife Connie had just begun. After 6.5 hours of testimony, arguments, and tearful, heart-wrenching statements from his victims, their children, Chad C. Shipper was sentenced Wednesday, and this was back in, what is this from? 2019, April 3rd. He was sentenced, what did he get? For 60 years in prison for kidnapping the couple from their Erie farmhouse and holding them hostage. He shackled them in a dungeon while he tried to extort $350,000 from them. Now this thing just tried to hold me hostage and say that. What are you doing here? So dumb. So dumb. So he thought they were, let me see here. What I'm quickly learning. Let me see if I can find this in there. See if this works. What is up with my... Okay. Police eventually identified Shipper as a suspect and tried to perform a traffic stop when they located his vehicle. The vehicle drove away. Then that resulted in a high-speed chase, ended in a crash. He lived in rural Geneseo, and he was arrested after the crash. He was taken into police custody, and the Van Ostens were located at a home in Geneseo. FBI said they were alive and in good health. Okay, this is, of course, when it happened, right? But let's go to what the similarity is. Okay, so there's a similarity. They were taken at night. Okay, a similarity. That is. Doesn't sound like there's too many other similarities. And I think maybe, I don't know, maybe this Nancy Travis is shamelessly trying to get some residual income from a whole bunch of people going to watch the movie, which they no doubt will, right? Let's see. Connie and Larry. What happened to Connie and Larry? Let's see. They were retired small business owners. Okay, let's see what else we got. On February 7th, 2017, Chad Shipper broke into the couple's home in the middle of the night, held them at gunpoint, forced them into the trunk of his Chevrolet Caprice. Then he whisked them away to a vacant property that he was the owner of 20 miles away in Geneseo, Illinois. He ordered them into a secret safe room equipped with security cameras, an intercom system, a microphone, and he monitored them from an upstairs bedroom. The couple remained missing for 48 hours. Let's see. They previously owned a flooring business, and Larry oversaw a pest control company. The couple was in their 60s at the time of their abduction. Now, they remain active in their church and community and continue to be doting grandparents. They are just very good and easygoing people, said one of the residents that knew them, Gary Hansen. Now, Shipper is a father, the kidnapper is a father of 6. He worked as a financial advisor at Shipper Financial Services, LLC, which he owned. So they're saying, do you think it's a local? Well, he wasn't local. He was 20 miles away, so that's not exactly local. He owned a financial services business. Okay. He first met the Van Ostens when he took their Sunday school class. However, the exact timing remains unclear. In 2015, he reportedly began to plot their kidnapping when Larry refused to loan him money. So there you have a personal gripe, you see? There's the personal gripe. And that, I think, can be true for Nancy. Larry didn't loan this guy money, right? This guy wanted money, Larry didn't loan it to him. Well, Larry, I'll teach that Larry. I'll kidnap that freaking Larry. That's what he's thinking, right? I'll kidnap Larry and Connie and I'll make them give me money. So, but he's running a financial services company and then he needs someone to loan him money. Doesn't sound like he's doing very good, right? No. All right. So he started to plot this. And he executed his plan for roughly a year and a half before he went and got them, right? Then he broke into their basement at 3:30, so around the same time. So that's another similarity. On February 7th, around the same month, right? February 1st, February's the same month. Okay? He waited until sunrise. Well, that's different. To wake Larry and Connie. I wonder why he waited till sunrise. Why wouldn't he want to take him out in the dark of night? Maybe he just, let them sleep. He waited until sunrise to wake Larry and Connie and held them at gunpoint, forced them into the trunk of his car. He then drove them to the property in Geneseo and locked them in a secret safe room that was outfitted with security monitoring devices to keep them subdued. He cuffed the Van Oostens. He used a handgun and a stun gun to hold them captive. And in an effort to conceal his identity, he donned a ski mask. That's another similarity. And used a voice-altering device. We don't know if this guy did use a voice-altering device. He threatened to kill the couple's children and grandchildren if they refused to obey his demands. One day after kidnapping the Van Oostens, Schipper drove them to the First Trust and Savings Bank 30 miles away in Albany, Illinois, and demanded Connie, still dressed in her pajamas, so that's another similarity, out in their pajamas, obtain a $350,000 cashier's check to pay their ransom. So different. There were no ransom notes set. He took them to go get their own ransom, right? The check was made out to Schipper's company. Isn't this stupid? Like, what? Come on. To Schipper's company, Stone Edge. I thought they just said it was Schipper LLC. At the same time, Connie managed to slip the bank teller a note that read, "My husband and I are being held at gunpoint. Do not react. Do not follow us." After issuing the check, the banker called the police. The same day, Schipper's vehicle was captured on bank surveillance video, and he was captured by authorities following a high-speed chase that ended in a crash. Well, that's totally not because Nancy wasn't taken to any bank that we know of, and it didn't end after 48 hours, right? A stolen set of license plates, a black mask, and a gun were found in his car at the time of the crash. Upon his arrest, Schipper confessed to the abduction and led investigators to the Van Oostens. Schipper was motivated to kidnap and extort the victims after he stole more than $300,000 from his grandma, and his uncle threatened to sue him. State Attorney Terry Costello said during Schipper's sentencing, Schipper tried to pay his uncle back with a bad check and attempted to steal the money from the Van Oostens. When he did in hopes that the check wouldn't bounce. As part of the plea agreement, he took a plea agreement, Schipper pled guilty to 3 counts of aggravated kidnapping and concealing identity, and home invasion. He cannot go within 100 yards of the Van Oostens' residence as a condition of his bond. At sentencing, April 2019, prosecutors said the situation changed the grandparents forever. This case had a great impact on the Van Osteens, said the state attorney Terry Costello. No matter what you do with Chad Shipper today, the Van Osteens got a life sentence. They didn't ask for it. They didn't do anything to get it, but they have it. Judge Stanley Steins described the crimes as heinous and sinister before handing down the maximum sentence, 60 years in prison. Shipper will be 91 years old when he's eligible for parole in 2068. 2068. How old would I be? According to, let's see here, Shipper hopes to find meaningful friendships during his stay behind bars, and he is on a website called Penacon. Like, write them. He says on there, I am open-minded, genuine, and fiercely loyal. I'm adventurous and perhaps a bit mischievous, but I have a big heart. Okay, so what do we think about Nancy Travis saying this is similar? Not so much. Some things, but not a lot, Nancy. I think you shamelessly plugged your movie. And the other news that I saw is Ashley Panfield is talking about a bloody footprint on the tile, but they don't know whose the freak it is. All right, let's see now. Hi, Shay. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you. Happy Easter. What do you guys think? Did you guys know about this Van Oosteen thing? Talk to me. Can you hear me? Oh my gosh, can you imagine if you couldn't hear me? I just wanted to look at my mute. My microphone was muted. Let me just say. How old would I be? No. Yeah, I'm not muted. You just don't like to talk to me. Okay, good. I'll just leave. Come on now. Come on now, kids. Where are you? $80. Oh, are you guessing how old I'll be then? Oh, I don't know. Heart. Does anybody think this sounds familiar? Or this sounds similar? Why is that? Do you think that lady is just shamelessly plugging her 2017 Lifetime movie? Now I'm starting to freeze again. What do you think, Hart? Oh, you heard about this before? And yeah, well, I think then she was probably just shamelessly trying to plug her. Oh, so there is something Captain Nanu said that he wanted to clear up that whoever told Brian Enton, Happy Easter, Shay, whoever told Brian Enton that the lead detective had absolutely no homicide experience, he wants to say that's not true. It's not true, according to him. And I'm going to tell you what he said to refute this. So he's casting some shade on Brian Enton for interviewing somebody that doesn't have the facts and putting it out there, right? So let's see what he says. Okay. So Chris Nanos fires back. You will not attack my department. Okay? You will not do it, Mr. Enton. Anyway, that's from Chris Nanos. Go send him the whatever you want to do. So let's see what he said. The Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos has set the record straight about investigators' reported lack of homicide case experience in the Nancy Guthrie investigation. He refuted claims made by an anonymous law enforcement insider during an interview with KVOA that he did. Okay. He said the sergeant has been the supervisor of homicide for over 2 years. And in that time, he has solved some pretty significant, very high-profile cases for the area. The Reddington homicide, the Goodwill homicide. Well, that sounds scary. Was there a homicide in the Goodwill store? We should look that up. And they solved that within days. So, how did this controversy begin? The controversy began on April 2nd. When an unnamed law enforcement insider told News Nation's Brian Enton that the officers first on the scene were not experienced homicide detectives. They didn't have a lot of experience at homicide at the point. To include the supervisor, who, from my understanding, never investigated a homicide before being installed as the supervisor for the homicide unit. The claim raised serious questions about the competence of the initial response and whether early mistakes may have cost investigators critical time in the crucial hours after Nancy disappeared. Let's see. He was direct when he spoke, Nanos. He was unapologetic. He defended his homicide supervisor by name and by record. This sergeant has been the supervisor of homicide for over 2 years. You cannot attack my department. Attack the sheriff, but you will not get by with attacking my department. He rejected any suggestion that errors were made early in the investigation. No, we don't believe there were any mistakes made, he said. Okay, let's see. Oh, and he's got a warning. There's a warning, probably from Mr. Enton. Let's see. Nanos warned that public attacks on the investigation itself could actively damage the search for Nancy. Discrediting an investigation like this doesn't help anything, he said. It's very harmful. Any erosion of public trust in the investigation or the investigators risks reducing the flow of tips and cooperation the department depends on to move this case forward. Now, there's another thing about Sheriff Nanos about he had an undeclared firearm in his luggage. TSA agents stopped the sheriff with a loaded gun at the checkpoint. Okay. So Chris Nanos has been called out by a local resident over an incident at a local airport where TSA agents allegedly stopped him at the security checkpoint with a loaded, undeclared firearm in his carry-on bag. And the hits keep coming. Let's see. When was this? Okay. An incident report obtained. Oh, this was from November 6, 2024. So they're digging now into very YouTube-like. Shows a TSA X-ray technician saw the weapon in the sheriff's bag and flagged an officer. As a law enforcement officer, he should know the TSA rules, how to declare a weapon, secure it, and follow the same rules as everybody else. Airport police found 5 rounds in the magazine and another in the chamber. The sheriff missed his flight. He stowed the firearm in his vehicle and flew out later. And a retired FBI agent said he found the whole incident surprising, because a law enforcement officer should know that. And they could have taken measures to fly legally with it. Okay. Nanos told him it was in a zippered pocket, and where the officer removed it and found 5 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. The firearm was in a hard plastic holster, the officer wrote. The firearm was not artfully or purposefully concealed. Mr. Nanos was escorted off the concourse to place his firearm in his vehicle, and he was rebooked to fly out at a later time. And that appears to be the end of the incident. So that's what I have there for you guys. But I have some other things I want to tell you about. There was high-powered American CEO killed in a horrific tourist transport crash in Nicaragua while vacationing with her husband and 3 young children, one of whom suffered critical injuries. She was a co-founder of the St. Louis-based marketing consulting firm AUX, AUX Insights. And she was killed on March 23rd when an open-air tourist transport truck carrying her family and other passengers crashed into the Rancho Santana Resort in Tola, Nicaragua, say her heartbroken relatives. Her 11-year-old son, Julian, was critically injured and airlifted to a St. Louis hospital. I hope he's doing okay. Let's see, here's the family. He suffered head trauma, skull fractures, spine fractures, as well as a collapsed lung, says on the GoFundMe page. We are devastated to announce the tragic passing of my sister, Casey Grell, said Grell's brother, Andy Joyce. Casey was on a family vacation in Nicaragua and on a tour put on by the resort she was staying at with her kids, Kit and Julian, when the driver lost control and rolled the vehicle, killing Casey and severely injuring Julian. Joyce remembered his sister as one of the most brilliant, driven, and selfless people I have ever met. She was relentless in everything she did, especially when it came to helping her people. We are heartbroken for David Grell. Julian, Kit, and Des, as well as everyone else who knew and loved Casey. A GoFundMe crowdfunding effort launched to benefit the children has raised more than $302,000 as of Saturday, well past the initial $250,000 that was their goal. Griel has been the family's primary provider after her husband was seriously injured in a previous accident. Yikes. She was the co-founder of that marketing consulting firm that works. What did she do here? What do they do here? It works with private equity firms to drive revenue growth and improve company performance. The firm positions itself as an outsourced chief marketing office for investors, helping portfolio companies translate marketing efforts into measurable financial results, including revenue and growth here. Let's see. In a 2025 podcast interview, Casey Grell said the firm had surpassed, wait, was it, yeah, is it? I want to make sure I've got her name right. Was it Casey? Yes, Casey. Okay, it said that in a podcast interview, get over here. Hold on, my thing is jumping. She said the firm had surpassed $10 million in annual revenue in under 2 years and was profitable from the outset without outside funding. And before launching the company, she worked in venture capital and corporate deal-making, including a stint as the CEO of Gateway Media, where she helped restructure the business and pay down $40 million in debt before its sale. She began her career as a TV news reporter before pivoting into finance and entrepreneurship after earning an MBA from Washington University in St. Louis. Okay, now let's see. There was one other thing, too, I want to read to you. Hold on. All right, now I want to go to this woman here. Looks like somebody terrible. Terrible. All right, then there was a Louisiana driver smashed into a crowd at a Louisiana parade. And then there was an active shooter in Raymond, New Hampshire, but they got him. He was shooting from his house at police officer. So there was a someone who smashed into the Louisiana parade here. Let me see. Todd Landry. Here he is being arrested. Bear with me for a second. My computer doesn't want to play nice. I think it might be right there. It's coming up there for you. All right, so it said that, hopefully there you go. That's him on the ground right there. More than a dozen people were injured. He drove a car through a crowd gathered for a cultural parade and festival in New Iberia, Louisiana on Saturday. At least 15 people were wounded, including some that are in critical condition after a drunk driver barreled through the parade at around 2:30 p.m. Several pedestrians were directly struck by the car, and 2 victims were airlifted to the hospital. Was this the car he was driving? Or that's crazy. Looks like a see what happened here. Landry of Jenneret showed signs of impairment. He blew a blood alcohol level of 0.137, well above the legal limit of 0.08. He was arrested and booked into the Iberia Parish Jail on charges of driving while impaired, careless operation, open container, 18 counts of first-degree negligent injuring. The crash is not believed to have been an intentional act. The parade, hold on a second, was part of an annual 3-day festival held in Lanexan Village each Easter weekend. The event, the largest of its kind in the U.S., has been held there since the 1980s. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Besides just Nancy Guthrie, right? A passenger gave birth aboard a New York-bound flight as officials suggest a crafty name for the baby. There was a tidal wave of adorable corgis on Huntington Beach on Saturday, and an annual gathering of the corgis. Two multi-alarm fires erupt in New Jersey overnight. Wow. An abandoned chemical factory in Patterson and a Seaside Heights house. Okay. What else do we have? Okay, let me go back and see what else we have that might be. Okay, what do we have? That shelter in place was issued in New Hampshire, but then they said that they got him. Right. Oh, Blake Lively, most of her claims were dismissed. Tori Spelling transported to the hospital after car hit by another driver. What? Hold on a minute. Let's see what this is about here. Hold on. Oh dear. Let's see. Is this her car? Yikes. There's the car. TMZ reported this. It says Tori Spelling, her kids, and several other passengers were taken to the hospital after a speeding driver allegedly ran into them. We're told all occupants were evacuated at the scene, but no arrests were made. Eyewitnesses took a video of Tori at the scene, speaking animatedly to an officer. She's not angry in the clip, the witnesses say, more hyped up on adrenaline. Spelling was driving 7 kids, 4 of hers and 3 friends of her kids, when they were hit by a driver who was allegedly speeding and ran through a red light. The other car in the crash, this is the one, was severely banged up, while Tori's car suffered far less damage. She's driving like some kind of a Chevy Tahoe or something like that. So, well, it's a good thing she's okay. All right. See what else we have here. On this day, it says in 1976, TV audiences were horrified by the TV movie Helter Skelter. Oh, let's look inside Nancy Guthrie's career history, shall we? Let's see what that looks like. Hang on. I'm laughing at something. I just thought, sometimes I think of random things and they just make me laugh. I was just looking at Savannah's smile like that with all of her teeth. And there's somebody on Instagram that was reading, and she was reading a book, and it said he smiled with just his bottom teeth, and then she tries to do that. Well, yeah, you had to watch it. You had to be there. Okay. So let's see. She was born Nancy Ellen Long. She was born in 1942. January 27th of 1942 in Fort Wright, Kentucky. She graduated from the University of Kentucky before she got married to Charles Errol Guthrie in 1963. Her early adult life was shaped by her husband's career as a mining engineer. It took the family around the world, including a period in Melbourne, Australia, where daughter Savannah was born in 1971. The family eventually settled in Tucson, where they raised their 3 children. Okay, so let me see here now. Nancy's career path took a significant turn following a personal loss. On June 10th, 1988, her husband died suddenly at the age of 49, leaving her to raise the children on her own. She was 46. I thought in Savannah's interview, she said her mother was 40. That's what I thought. I'm going to have to listen to that again. She was 46. Okay. Or maybe she did say 46. Let me see. I don't know. Now I don't even remember what I remembered about it. I'd have to go back to my video. In the years that followed, she entered the workforce and began what would become a nearly 20-year career at the University of Arizona. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, now I'm just going to keep sneezing, right? Okay. She joined the University of Arizona in 1990, working first as a spokeswoman for the University Medical Center. In that role, she became a familiar and respected figure among journalists and colleagues. Former reporter Carla McLean described her as level-headed, accommodating, gracious, and totally upfront. She was just great to work with. She understood what my job was as well as her own. Okay. When you encounter good people in life, you know it right away. And Nancy is a very good person through and through. There's a kindness and an aura around people like that. Nancy later moved into a role as associate to the vice president of the University vice president of University Advancement, where she helped to expand the university's messaging and outreach. Retired Vice Provost Elizabeth Irvin recalled Nancy's leadership style. She was a very good leader. She said that Nancy brought energy and collaboration to departments that had previously operated in a more siloed way. She was always extremely positive. She had an amazingly positive spirit. Beyond her communications work, Nancy also coordinated programs that connected the university with the broader community. She led the Center Stage program, which organized monthly musical performances at the hospital. She served as program director for Med Camp, an initiative introducing Arizona high school students to careers in medicine. In recognition of her work, she was elected president of the Southern Arizona chapter of the Public Relations Society of America in 2000. I'm very surprised that being only 46 and then working in, out there working, that she never remarried, right? I wonder if she ever had a significant other in her life. And you know what I mean? I don't know. Relatively young woman, right? To be widowed. Okay. Colleagues noted that her professionalism and optimism stood out, particularly given that she had entered the workforce later in life, following her husband's death. You never would have guessed the woman was in the early years of a new career, Irvin said. Outside of her professional life, Nancy remained deeply connected to her family and community. Her daughter, Savannah, has spoken out publicly about her influence. In 2022, she said she has met unthinkable challenges in life with grit, without self-pity, with determination, and always, always has unshakable faith. In 2023, Savannah added that her mother set aside her own grief in many ways just to be there and make sure we could all move forward together, and described her as a consistent doer of the right thing and the hard thing. Nancy retired from the University of Arizona on January 1st, 2007. So, almost 20 years retired, right? When she was abducted. Concluding a career that colleagues say was marked by consistency and integrity. Let's see. Community members have gathered in recent weeks for vigils and prayer services reflecting the impact she has had beyond her professional roles. I feel like she is a revered member of this community, said Sally Shamrell. We all need to come together and lift our hands up in prayer for her. Okay, so there's that. So that's lots of Guthrie stuff here for you guys. So I'm going to go back to the chat in a minute. The Bally suitcase murder, I remember that one. Suspected tornadoes rip across the Midwest with intense winds. I should have gone live with that Ryan guy. Oh, wait a second. What is this about? Here's something about a kidnapping. This is hold on. Conrad. Wisconsin. Here, this guy. Okay, he says, okay, he says, get over here, please. Hold on a minute. Oh my goodness. Okay. A man in Wisconsin is accused of threatening to fatally shoot his parents, and he let law enforcement go on a 14-hour standoff during which he allegedly warned he would kill everyone. Vance Lee, 33 years old, is charged with failure to comply with an officer's attempt to take a person into custody, disorderly conduct, endangering safety by using a dangerous weapon, and 10 counts of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. On March 27th and 28th, Lee was at his parents' home in the area of 68th Street and West Brentwood Avenue in Milwaukee. The criminal complaint says the defendant was allegedly threatening his parents, including walking down the stairs of the house with a rifle and a handgun, and threatening to shoot them. He reportedly called his brother at one point and said, "We are all dying today." The parents stayed in their bedroom because they feared what their son could do. They told police that Lee told them he would kill everyone and hide in the basement ready for anything if police arrived. The parents made it clear they loved their son, but they could not handle his threats. On March 28th at 8:45 a.m., police were dispatched to the home. Though law enforcement demanded that Lee exit, he allegedly would not come out. He barricaded himself in the home, and he even used a shotgun to shoot down a drone from the house's second floor. The standoff continued into the night, and photos from the area TV station showed authorities deploying tear gas into the residence. About 14 hours after the standoff, at approximately 10:20 p.m. that night, Lee surrendered. Authorities reportedly found inside the home the shotgun, 4 rifles, 5 handguns, body armor, and 800 rounds of ammunition. He admitted to drinking and smoking meth in the recent past, and he was booked into jail and ordered to pay a $50,000 bond. He's set to appear in court on April 7th. I thought they said kidnapping here. I guess they... Okay. There was something else I was going to tell you. Shoot, now I lost the one I wanted to tell you. Oh, wait a minute. 2 women arrested in false kidnapping report of a 5-year-old. Okay. No. Okay, I'm coming back to the chat. I know you haven't seen me in a while. I'm going to come back there. I don't know if I was looking left or right. Okay, here we are. Hi, everybody. Hi, Terry. How are you doing, Terry? Happy Easter. What happened? Who has major damage? Oh, you're talking about something I reported on? Oh, hi, Amy. You want the story on Blake Lively? Here, I'll give it to you. Hold on. Hope you're still here, Amy's Justice League. Hang on. I'll read you the story on Blake Lively. Okay. All right, so she's breaking her silence after the judge dismisses sexual harassment claims in the Baldoni lawsuit. I'll read it, tell you what this is all about. Let me get a new graphic up there so we know we're talking about something different. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness. This is crazy.
Here's why you should switch from Google to DuckDuckGo on all your devices.
How about I'm not?
DuckDuckGo comes with a built-in
That's
search
okay.
engine like Google, but it's private and doesn't spy on your searches. And DuckDuckGo lets you browse like Chrome, but it blocks cookies and creepy ads that follow
Okay,
you
how
around
about
from
not?
Google
And how about
other
we shut
companies.
this ad, okay?
And there's no catch. It's free.
How about
make
we
money
shut
from
the
ads,
ad?
but they don't follow you around. Join the millions of people taking back their privacy
my
by
goodness.
downloading DuckDuckGo on all your devices today.
Hey, I hope you're so well. Just wanted to connect,
What
just
is
to put something
going
on your
on?
radar.
Okay, hang on. I'm trying, Amy. I'm trying. This is being really dumb. Really, really dumb. And I'm trying to get you a graphic up there, but it's... Hold on a minute. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start from ground zero and shut all these tabs here because there's just too many and it's... Come on now. Come on. Oh my goodness. My computer is acting like the biggest, littlest jerk you've ever seen. Just does not want to give me the thing where it says close all tabs to the right. There we go. Oh. Close tabs to the right. Hang on with me, Amy, okay? We're almost there. Just hang on. Okay. Now let's try this again. First, let's get the image up there. Let's do that first. Why are you giving me such a little picture? Come on. There we go. Now we'll go to your story. All right, let's see. So, Blake Lively is speaking out after a major legal development. In her ongoing case...
We turn now to the war of words between...
Be quiet. We don't need you here. In her ongoing case involving It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. On Friday, she shared a statement to her Instagram stories following the federal judge's decision that dismissed several of her claims, including allegations of on-set misconduct, while allowing portions of the case tied to alleged retaliation to move forward. She said, and I quote, "I'm grateful for the court's ruling which allows the heart of my case to be presented to a jury next month, and for the ability to finally tell my story in full at trial, for my own sake, but also for those who don't have the same opportunity to, many of whom I have known and loved deeply in my life, and the countless I'll never know." The ruling issued by a New York federal judge comes just weeks before the case is expected to head to trial. While a significant portion of Blake Lively's original claims were dismissed, the court determined that elements related to reputational harm and retaliation can still be argued before a jury. "The last thing I wanted in my life was a lawsuit, but I brought this case because of the pervasive retaliation I faced and continue to, for privately and professionally, asking for a safe working environment for myself and others," Lively wrote in her statement. "I hope the court's decision shows others that, as unfathomably painful as it is, you can speak up." She noted that the remaining claims represent what she described as the core of her case, adding she's prepared to share her full account when the proceedings begin. "I will never stop doing my part in fighting to expose the systems and people who seek to harm, shame, silence, and retaliate against victims." She emphasized her intention to continue speaking out, framing the situation as part of a broader effort to challenge systems that silence individuals who come forward with similar misconduct allegations. She also acknowledged that having a platform to do so is not something she takes lightly. Now, Baldoni's legal team has denied the allegations against the actor and director. In a statement after the judge's ruling, his attorney said they were very pleased that the court dismissed all sexual harassment claims and every claim brought against Baldoni and his co-defendants. These were very serious allegations, and we are grateful to the court for its careful review of the facts, law, and voluminous evidence that was provided. Baldoni's legal team said, "What's left is a significantly narrowed case, and we look forward to presenting our defense to the remaining claims in court." So that's that. Now, hopefully you heard me, Amy, on that. Let's see. Were you there, Amy? Okay, Amy. I'll be listening as I wash dishes. Why are you washing dishes at 1:47? Don't tell me you waited till the last minute to make your eggs. Okay, let's see who else jumped in here. Kate, oh, I was thinking of you today, Kato. Hi, good to see you. Denise to Scooter. Happy Easter, everybody. Shay. Oh, who else did I just see? Bubbly Red? Did I just see Bubbly Red? Who did I just see here? Saw an avatar, or that was different. Thought I saw Bubbly Red. Oh, Pet Nanny Nancy. Hi, Pet Nanny Nancy. Happy Easter. Amy Justice League will speed it up and listen to replay tomorrow. Okay, Amy. Oh, Jet Set Up. That's who I saw. Hi, Jet Set Up. Jet Set JP. How are you doing? Happy Easter. Okay. Sandra, Bonaboo, Mr. Wu. Anybody have anything else to say? Terry K says she always hits the like button. That's good, Terry. Appreciated. Okay. So what else? Out of luck tonight, Terry. Kitchen's closed. Oh, boy. Boy, boy, boy. You didn't have anything to eat? Any snack? Snacky snacks? Hold in the light. You have chips? Just chips and salsa? Or do you have chips? Potato chips? Or do you have Dorito chips? Gotta go now. Busy. Okay, Scooter. Washing dishes you're an hour behind, but still, it's too late to be washing dishes. You don't have a dishwasher? Do you not have a dishwasher? How can you not have a dishwasher, Scooter? Tell Dave to get you a dishwasher for Easter. That's not nice. Okay, so, does she not have a dishwasher? Seriously? You don't have one? When you grew up in your house, did you have a dishwasher? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I grew up with a dishwasher. Shay, you giving the thumbs up that somebody should give her a dishwasher, right? Dave should put a dishwasher in for her. That's ridiculous. You just subbed. Hi, Darby Jennifer. You seem very nice. Thank you, Darby Jennifer. I think I'm pretty nice. Told you I don't have the cabinet space. Take out a cabinet and put the dishwasher in. Just take a cabinet out and put a dishwasher in. And you know what else I don't like? When people, I'm sorry, and Linda gets on me about it because she doesn't have a dishwasher. And she goes, I know, you never eat it in my house. I just don't think, and I'm sorry, I do not think that stuff that is hand washed is up to the standard of cleanliness that you get from a dishwasher, especially when you run a sanitizing cycle and a hot water scrub and all of that stuff. And then you have the dishwashers that like cycle through the water, take it. I just don't think you're getting that. I don't want to eat there. It just makes me nuts. I'm just that's my own thing, okay? It's my own thing. Because I've seen the way some people wash dishes. And I just have to have sanitizing cycles. My dishes get washed for 3 hours and 3 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. But that's just the way I am. And just think about all the time you could be doing something else. Yeah, they do sanitize your dishes. They have sanitizing cycles and stuff. Ours will always have 2 lights and it says clean and sanitized. And it's really important when you have kids, and it will even sanitize your bottles and stuff after when they're real little, you want to boil the water, but then you could just put everything in the dishwasher and it's so easy. I'm trying to think, did I put the little bottles in there? You know what? I just thought about something. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. All right, so, okay. I just had to look at something real quick. Darby? Yeah, usually sometimes I'm on during the night and day. Yeah, I usually am. How'd you find me, Darby? You just came up in your, oh shoot, sorry. It just came up in your, that scared me for a minute. It just came up in your recommended or something? I'm always interested. We talk about a lot of stuff here. I do crafts too. Do you like crafts? I do different things. Jennifer, I do. I showed these, what did I do? I must have put the back. These things I did made out of toilet paper you would not believe. I know that sounds crazy, and it really does sound crazy. I believe it. You survived almost 72 years of not having a dishwasher most of your life. Really? But see, it's different, okay, because you never had one. But then if you get one, you'll see the difference. That's the thing. Because you've never had one, you're like, oh, okay. But then when you get one, it's a game changer. Because Jimmy was like that, okay, let me tell you something. Jimmy, they grew up without a dishwasher, and when he had his own house, he had a dishwasher, but he didn't use it because he was one person living there. Then when we got married, okay, we have a house full. Now he would never think of not having a dishwasher, right? You were just browsing. So it's, you don't know. But if you're by yourself and I don't know, do you live alone by yourself, jet set up, or are you with someone else? I mean, if that's what you're used to, but when you have a lot of people, a dishwasher makes your life so much easier. But I know there's a lot of people that have never used one and they say, oh, it's fine, it's fine. And then they'll get one and they'll be like, oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Darby. But, some people just, maybe it's one or two people and they don't mind it, yada, 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 whatever. To each their own. If you're happy without a dishwasher, then more power to you. I find a lot of people that say that like never had one. And I was of the era we grew up with one. Okay? There was always one in my kitchen growing up. Anyway, what else is going on? So Nancy Guthrie, day 64 tomorrow. I don't know. Now I'm living alone and it's hard to see my username. The last two, I can see it, Jet Set. I just thought it was Jet Set Up, but it's Jet Set JP. I see that. Yeah, I see it, Jet Set. Yep, I got it. So what is everybody doing? What are you guys doing for Easter tomorrow? Need. Amy says need. I think she means she needs a dishwasher. I agree. Scooter's over there washing dishes, getting dishpan hands. Remember that dishpan hands? You've got dishpan hands. Remember that? Wasn't that a commercial for rubber gloves? Right? Hey, zigzag. Pray then eat. That's a good plan. That's a good plan. What was that dishpan hands? Was that for those rubber gloves? Are you cooking, Terry? Are you cooking tomorrow? I'm tired. We're going out to eat. Going out to eat. It's me like a jerk. I worked like a dog today. So that's so stupid because how hard, I mean, working dogs, yeah, but most dogs. It's not like they're sled dogs or something. Hurt. Why would people even say that I work like a dog? I don't know. some expressions don't make any sense, right? There's a lot of expressions that don't make sense. But then it's like, I'm dog tired, right? You heard of dog tired. Or people would call their feet dogs, right? Okay, so you have all that. And then you have a memory like an elephant. How do we really know what an elephant remembers? What if there's a forgetful elephant? Your brother and sister-in-law are cooking this year. Oh, okay. That's good. Are you bringing anything? Let's see what else I was going to say. When one doesn't have to cook, no dishes, no fuss. I'm bringing potato salad that I made. Nice. Nice. Scooter's bringing deviled eggs because that's what she brings every freaking year. You know I don't like deviled eggs, okay? I don't like deviled eggs. I don't like egg salad. I don't like hard-boiled eggs of any kind. I don't like anything with hard-boiled eggs. Your dog works real hard, all that eating and sleeping, right? Yeah, I know. My 3 dogs, they do that a lot. Though they're busy. They're busy, like they gotta guard the house, gotta guard the house, gotta protect the house. They do, like, oh, there's a squirrel. I better go get the squirrel. They don't really get the squirrel, but they'll chase after the squirrel. And I have one that will stand at the tree, the squirrel goes up, put her paws on it, stand up there and bark and bark and bark and bark. I'm like, Lulu, she's not in that tree anymore, for crying out loud. Yeah. They're busy in that respect. They think they're, busy guarding everything. They bark if there's a car that even comes near our driveway. Person, forget it. I'm gonna go away. So, yeah, and I didn't make the Easter bread. I can't believe it. This is the second year I didn't color eggs. I see colored eggs because I colored eggs with the kids, but I guess if I liked eggs, I would color, but I wanted to do them for the Easter bread. I don't know. If I got up real early, I might make it. I don't know. I wanted to make an Easter bread. I had time making an Easter bread before, but... Your potato salad is healthy, organic, and delicious, and it has radishes in it. Does it have egg in it? Some people put, your dog barks at the air too. It's okay. Yeah. Well, they bark it. I do not make fatty, unhealthy foods. Really? Okay. That's good. What was I going to say? So, Nancy Guthrie updates, we went through them, nothing, right? And remember that maybe you guys remember the Pennsylvania, this is so funny, this Pennsylvania Dollar Tree store. It used to have a lady that I thought, she was an older lady. I found out she worked on the New York Stock Exchange. Her and I became very close, but at first I thought she was like really kind of grouchy, right? But then I found out, remember I told you that the manager in that store, which I only started seeing, we only started seeing it, it was another lady on the line too, because everybody knows she's nasty, and she's not that old. And I even said to her the last time, the older lady, I said, how do you work with that? And she goes, it's okay. If I worked for like 30 years in the New York Stock Exchange, I can take this. But ever since I approached her about that, she's become really friendly to me. So when she was on the line today, I got some of those candles. You know which ones I'm talking about. They're very tall and they have saints on them, and Jesus and Mary and Our Lady. Do you know what I'm talking? St. Jude, right? So I had 3 of them. So she went to wrap them up in paper, and I said, here, I'll do that while you... And she goes, we have CCTV. And I said, and what? So what'll happen? They'll be mad that I wrapped the candles while you were bringing up the stuff? And she's like, they think we should be able to do this completely on our own. So, yeah. So then her and I said, that's crazy. And she's like, oh, it's crazy. And then that mean one, like when I came in to the store, she goes, hello, young lady. She kept calling me that, right? So then, but she'll follow you around. If she ever sees like you take something down and don't put it back in the right place, she'll like berate you, okay? Or she'll come right behind, like she's erratic. Like I think she's one of these. She would be like that one that they said. Oh my gosh, what was her name? The lady that everybody said, oh, she was crazy. Kimberly Kessler. That's what I think she would be like, Kimberly Kessler. Yeah, well, you call them praying candles. There's another name for them. Why it's not coming up. It's not like novena candles. It's, why can't I think of the name right now? They're tall, very tall. And then they have this saint on them. And then they have like a, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean. Are they novena candles? Anyway, so I said to her, is that okay if I bring this cart? Because I had like a few bags. And she goes out to my car and I'll bring, oh, yeah. And then I was thinking, I didn't see that mean one again. And as soon as I was leaving the store, she goes like this. And this older lady is probably like 78 years old, okay? And this other lady is probably like 50 something. She goes real nasty when I'm like going out of the store. She goes, oh, I see. Nobody thought that they had to fill up the soda cooler again. And I felt like saying, wow, because I think this is the lady that I heard one day. They had like somebody that you could tell she was working and she was developmentally disabled, and she was like reaming her out. And I believe I told her, like, you don't have to have anybody talk to you like that. And then when the last time I was with this lady, I was on the line and she was running around saying something, and I said to the older lady, boy, she sounds pleasant to work with. And she goes, oh, and then the lady, I said, was she new here? Did they just put her here? And she goes, no, she's been here for 26 years. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. And she said, it was so have I. We used to be down there. And then the lady behind me, thank goodness, said, I don't remember seeing her here until recently. Well, neither did I. Okay? Yeah. Just turned mine on. Oh, your dishwasher. Okay. Yes, absolutely. So where was I going with this? So then when I said, can I take the cart out to the car? When I was bringing the cart back up and I brought it into the store, the mean 50-year-old lady says, thank you, young lady. And then she grabs the cart and then she goes, like you could tell, she just goes yelling again to somebody. Really, I'd like to put in a complaint. I don't like to like just go complain about people, but I think she treats the people that work there really bad. And this older lady that I thought was grouchy, well, now I know maybe why she was grouchy at first. But as soon as I started talking to her about this, now every time I go in there, she's so nice to me. See what I mean? So sometimes you can think somebody's grouchy and mean, but it may be because they're freaking have a tyrant around them. Anyway, yeah. So this lady's like really nice now. So now I like to see her and talk to her. But that other lady, she scares the crap out of me. Saves money? Yeah. Tell Scooter that. It's ridiculous. Scooter's still there washing dishes. Got like 50 people in her house and she's washing dishes. Tell Dave to get you a portable one. You don't even need, you could just like, you could wheel it in and out or so. I don't know. Hook it up. Just stop it now with that craziness. Tell everybody to pitch in. My goodness. But yeah, so what was I saying? I don't know. Oh, I don't know what I was saying. You know, I didn't even look about the Easter egg hunt this year. You know how quick that time goes that you have the Easter egg hunts and stuff? And I remember sometimes it would be so cold, our ears were falling off. Life is so quick and so short. It's crazy, right? And that limited time you have with your kids that you do that before they're too old for that. It's crazy. It goes so fast. So fast. Anywho, so what's it? I think I'm going to get off here and go to bed. Oh, we got to do our word cookie puzzle. What am I talking about? We got to do the word cookie. Darby, Jennifer, we always do a word cookie. Sometimes we do more. We always do the daily. Sometimes we do more at the end of our show to cleanse our mind. Because sometimes we do a lot of true crime and it's very, you know, heavy. Oh, well, you want to call in? You can call in. Here, I'll put the number in. How were you trying to call in? Because the number wasn't even there. She was trying to call in. Isn't that funny? But the number wasn't in Slack. And Amy, did you ever get your butt in Slack? Do you see anything in Slack? I know you're in there, but you're like another one like Evie, I think. You're in there, but it's like talking to a wall in there because you don't even know you're in there. Anyway. Talking to a wall. Nito, hey, you must be from my generation. Nito, remember Nito Keene? Remember that one, Nito Keene? See, and if you see a word, you can put it in there, and then we'll call it out. Genie in a bottle. If you talk about Nancy, thought way in the beginning that maybe time in the house was spent erasing things off. Uh-oh, you erased that and I couldn't even read it. You erased it before I could even read it. You erased it before I could read it. Hey, 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 hey. Not nice. Not nice. Jen is in every puzzle. Not nice. Not nice. Hinge, says Heart. Hinge. Very good. A hen. Yep, hen. We got hen. Oh, here comes Scooter. Wash with her dishpan hands. What's going on? You got your dishpan hands? Where is she? Why isn't she showing up? I let her in. Why isn't she showing up? That's crazy. I let her in. Won't you open the door and let her in? I did. I let her in. Where are you? I don't know where she is. I let her in. She's not here now. That's crazy. Yeah, I has to be there. Where is she? Where is she? This is crazy that she's gone. Yeah, Heart's good. Where the heck is she? Isn't that crazy? Hold on a minute. I let her in. It says she's here. Oh, hold on. It didn't let her in. Why is it not letting her in? Oh, now it is. That was weird.
Now, why weren't you letting me in?
I did let you in. Everybody saw it, and it didn't register.
Oh.
How are your dishpan hands?
Huh?
How are your dishpan hands?
I wear gloves.
Oh, you do.
Yes, because I use hot water.
I know, but it's still not the same.
And I could hear you kind of from over there for a little bit.
It's not the same.
Which isn't even very far. That's why I'm calling in. I'm like, is she going to lay off about this dishwashing
People agree.
thing?
Darby, Jennifer, the new person here
Okay,
agrees.
well, I can't help it. I don't have the space. I hardly have any.
Look, you could put one.
cupboards.
See that cupboard right behind you?
I know, but it's filled with food and canned goods and stuff.
Well, couldn't you move it on the other side or something?
I have a stove and a few cupboards and a refrigerator.
You could turn that one
refrigerator.
like that and put your dish. You could manage a dishwasher in there.
That thing is huge. How are we going to turn it? Like, how are we going to turn it?
Just turn it on that other wall where
It's screwed into the wall.
Yeah, unscrew it and then put your dishwasher over there or something. Have Dave push that
It
out.
has to be here by the sink, a dishwasher.
Well, they have portable ones that don't you? I've seen them. They roll.
And I'm
them
going
in.
to take up the little bit of counter that I have that's like this.
No. They roll it in. It's like you just keep it somewhere and then you.
Where am I going to keep it?
I've seen.
We have no walkway space hardly as it is.
I've seen people do it.
I have too. I don't want that. Hey, you don't think I would love to have one?
Does Bonnie have a dishwasher?
She does.
Okay.
I used to have one in my house before I got with Dave.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That would have been I would have told Dave. Well.
And so I've used them. My parents have one.
Oh, they did? You had one growing up?
Oh, and my father, I'll tell you what, my father was a huge germaphobe.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, one day when both my mom and dad were here,
they said, we're not eating at Debbie's.
No.
We get sick all the time.
No. And I wasn't even thinking about it, but out of the blue, he and my mom, they were sitting here and I was there washing dishes.
Right.
And my dad says, Debbie's a good dishwasher. Because he saw how I do my dishes.
Okay.
Because I do them in very hot water with soap. And I have a system and I wear gloves.
I've seen
because I do think about that.
I've seen so many. Haven't you seen people that wash dishes and it's like it's really like they'll like
And
take.
I have a little,
and
I
then
do them actually in the
stack it on.
sink. I have a dish pan even that I put in the sink. There's two sides up, because it's not one big sink. It's two
Right.
sides, and I have a dish pan in one side, and I'm constantly dumping that water out, changing the water, adding hot again. I do the silverware, I do the glasses, I do the plates and the bowls, whatever. I have a system.
I don't know.
But I do have wrinkly hands, but they're not dishpan.
But what was that a commercial for rubber gloves? Was that rubber
But
gloves?
I do wear rubber gloves. I'll show you. They're right here at the sink. They're the long kind of they're the Dawn.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But my water is so freaking hot that sometimes it even burns through the gloves because they rinse them so hot.
Darby Jennifer said the dishwasher does that too, and it
I
doesn't
can't-
need
I-
gloves.
I would love to have it, but sometimes we do think about it, but I hate to give up that cabinet because I have so few.
Yeah.
I have so few. This is a very small kitchen.
You don't have one at the other house either?
No, that's a small kitchen too. Very small. Hello. Hello. Of course, you come in here now as soon as I get on Zoom. And then Fox gives a burp as she walks into the family room to use the bathroom. Oh,
So did you make your deviled eggs?
can you believe I have them boiled? They're sitting there. They're ready to be peeled. I have not even done them yet. It's
Oh my
2:30.
Did you make them in the Instant Pot?
Pardon?
Did you make them in the Instant
Oh.
Pot?
No, I don't have an Instant
You
Pot.
don't have an Instant Pot?
Oh, now we're going to hear about the
Oh my, I
merits of
thought
an
you
Instant
did
Pot.
have an Instant Pot.
Remember I was going to get one?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought you had one.
Remember I was asking, what should I get? A new crock pot?
I thought
Or
you
an
had it.
Instant
Yeah, I
Pot.
would get an Instant Pot.
But then that's just another thing to sit around here.
No, we put ours away in the cabinet.
Huh?
We put ours in the cabinet when we're not using it.
Well, I know, but here we go again with my cabinet space.
Yeah, but it's very good for a lot of things.
Right, yeah, Bonnie uses hers quite a bit.
I'll say.
Because I have just a small crock pot.
Mm-hmm.
I use my air fryer all the time.
So that's one
I
thing.
love my air
That's one
fryer.
thing I do not use.
See, and I use mine
I have it.
constant.
I just hate that thing. It's sitting on the counter. I say we just get rid of it because we hardly ever use it.
Oh, I
Everybody
love
was making
ours.
such a big deal about it, and I had reviewed one a long time ago. Then I said, then everybody was saying about, oh, this one. Even Sandy told me, oh yeah, you die, and we hardly ever use it.
Yeah,
Ever.
boy, we do.
For what?
Darby, Jennifer. I'm for an upgraded house. Yeah, it's from 1975. My husband moved in here when it was brand new. But it's been paid for years, and he's added on to it himself with his own two hands. He's remodeled it and all kinds of stuff. He was going to put a bigger kitchen in too at one point.
What about what was I saying? What did I just say to you? Oh yeah, for what do you use the air fryer for?
Oh gosh. We cook mainly chicken is the best thing to make in it, and French fries.
What kind of chicken?
Fried chicken, well, but no breading on it, and it tastes
Wait, I don't
wonderful.
understand what you mean. No breading on it.
Yeah, just
You're taking chicken breasts and putting them in there
yeah.
without anything on them?
Right. But we leave the skin on because I like the skin on it.
I don't understand.
Any kind of chicken legs, chicken wings, chicken thighs, chicken breast.
Okay.
Makes it so juicy and crispy, and it's wonderful.
I don't know.
And the homemade French fries are just like if you fried them in grease, almost. I would still rather have them if you actually fried them in your skillet or something like that, or a deep fryer, but they're very, very close. You almost couldn't tell the difference. You just know they're healthier because you're not using as much, oil when you make them in there, right?
We just bought a whole bunch of peanut oil.
Huh?
We just bought a whole bunch of peanut oil
Oh,
to do some
for fries?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the best.
Mm-hmm. Root. And
What are
then
you guys doing for Easter? I missed
we're
it.
going to a restaurant. I said to Gia, because Gia was, you don't even know. Why didn't you
Huh?
call me? She said, why didn't you call me, Mom, to go to the store with you? And I said, because I couldn't call you or Allie because it was, by the time I got finished shampooing the rugs over there, don't even ask, okay?
Shampoo the rugs where?
The other house. Don't even ask.
Oh,
I so stupidly thought I was going to be done. Like I started yesterday and then I'm like to Jimmy, okay, I just want to get that finished. Well, long story short, I'm a perfectionist. Okay. So did the shampooing of the rugs in the big great room. Then I went into the other big great room and I was vacuuming like a fool. Then I started doing, when you close your house for the winter, you got to open the house up, right? And you got dust, all that stuff, right?
I know.
So I'm doing all that like a fool. And I look at my watch and I said, oh my gosh, it's 5:30. I've got to go. And he goes, well, why don't you call Gia? And I said, no, because I don't want to go to the store in New York. I want to go to Pennsylvania. I'll have to go get her. Forget it. Can't do it. So then she called me and said, Mom, why didn't you call me? And I did. I had called her earlier in the day, but then she was getting her nails done. I don't know what the heck was. So then they were laughing because they were getting ice cream. And then she's laughing. She's like, what are we doing for Easter? And then my son said, we're going to a restaurant. They were laughing. So, yeah. So we're going to a
So you're just getting the house ready for the summer
to
or
get
whatever?
it, yeah, to get it, because you close it up and I just,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I
What
really,
restaurant? You know what restaurant you're going to, or just going to see what everybody wants to do?
not yet. We like to go, we do, believe it or not, like to go to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we do like to do that. But we're going to see, I guess. We'll have to see which one we want to go to.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
We're going to go to my daughter's. She's making, spiral ham and scalloped potatoes, and they're so good. Her scalloped potatoes, and then a bunch of side dishes and stuff, and desserts and appetizers and all that. So
Are her kids
it'll be a
going?
nice day.
Both kids are going? Her kids? Both of them?
Yeah, and their significant others, their boyfriend and girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, Darby, Jennifer. I was going to say General. Darby General.
Object,
And,
okay, right.
So it'll be a nice day,
Mm-hmm. And, yeah.
But, so,
Is Dave going?
yeah, of course. No, he was going to stay home, watch
I'll
TV.
stay home. Just bring me a plate. You follow, what do you follow? A mod for a goat smuggling farm in PA?
Goat snug. Oh, well, how cute. Goat snuggling.
Oh, I get it. No. She follows N mods for a goat smuggling farm. What is a goat
Snuggling.
Oh,
Snuggling.
oh, snuggling. That reminds me once, oh my gosh, this is so funny. I was doing a marketing presentation where we have people come in, and you had like, at that time, way back then, you had a, what did they call it? Like they called it we called it our offices, but they were like, what the heck was the thing they called them back in the day? They weren't Zooms. They were like, we had a whole thing. It looked like an atrium, and it would have my name in my office. It was like a WebEx thing, almost kind of software, but you'd have people come in and you could see their names, and then you'd be on the screen doing a presentation. And I said to some lady, because she could see their chat, and I wish I could remember this, but she either said chicken and I read it children, or she wrote children and I read it chicken. Okay, and whatever it was, I never noticed the error. So after, then this lady I work with, Connie, she was laughing. She called me up. She goes, Carolyn, do you know you read that lady's comment, and she said her children, maybe it was like her children are allergic to something, and you said, oh, your chicken are allergic to that or something. She goes, and you never corrected it. And she goes, I was losing it throughout that whole thing because I couldn't stop. Like, I wish I could remember what it was, because it was funnier than that. But it was between chicken and children. A goat snuggling farm. So they go there to snuggle the goats. Where in Pennsylvania is that? Because I'm very close to Pennsylvania. Maybe I want to go snuggle a goat sometime. My daughter would probably love to snuggle a goat. We have an alpaca farm by us. Where is that goat snuggling farm? Tell us where it is. We might go there to snuggle a goat. I'll tell her that you sent me, if I do. Goat snuggling. I go to the Sheep and Wolf Festival, Darby, but I've never snuggled the goats there. I've petted the goats. Tell me where it is, because I might want to go and snuggle one.
Give her a chance. Remember, okay. The chat's delayed.
I'm very anxious. The guy at the drive-thru made me
Templar. Do you know where that is?
Temple. Let me see how far Temple, PA, from me is. Okay, let's see.
No, Amy, but we do have a garbage disposal, but we don't have to have one if you're asking me, but we do have one in the sink.
Let's see.
But no, we don't have to have one.
Well, it's a little bit of a distance from me. Maybe sometime. Let me see a Temple, PA, goat snuggling. So do they just make a channel and they show people snuggling the goats?
They do events and birthday parties, she said.
I'm going to look.
I
got it. I found it.
Steinmetz.
Yep, I found it. Goat snuggling. Let's see. Traveling baby goats. They travel. They go on the road with the baby goats. Parties on the farm. Goat yoga. They sell the goats. Baby goat snuggling. Rent a goat. See, you know what? I'm so
cute.
I'm ahead of my time. Listen to this one, Darby, Jennifer. You want to hear how ahead of time I am? We have a big llama farm. Not a llama farm. Alpaca farm right down the road from me. And I said to them, because my daughter said, something about, wow, I'd really like she always buys the alpaca yarn. And I said, you should get an alpaca. They can keep it for you over here. And then she said, and yeah, and you and the kids can go walk it and stuff. I said, yeah. And then I said, that would be really good. And I think I mentioned it on the show. I said, if all these people that live in Brooklyn and in the city, and they knit like crazy, wouldn't it be neat if they would own an alpaca? Then they'd get when they came and did the shearing, they'd get all that yarn, and then they could even get letters or whatever, and their alpaca would live there, and they could go and even visit it. And
Right.
shortly after I said that started to be a thing. Yeah, yeah. And I think that you can get the goats. Some of the goats are known for their yarn, and the sheep definitely. So yeah, now I think everybody's doing it. The rent a goat, the board your goat there, your alpaca. I never knew some
Right.
alpacas are like 50,000. They go in these shows and they're like worth $50,000. Some of them, it's crazy. Okay, rent a
Cool.
goat. Yeah, summer camps, public events on the farm. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out there, Jennifer. I'm gonna have to tell my daughter about it. Let me see. Snuggling the baby goat, so you get to hold the baby goat and give it a bottle. I used to do that. Where I rode horses, she would sometimes have that. We would feed the baby goats bottles. And we have
Right.
we have a big goat farm. The one that tornado went through, Apple Pond Farm. They have tons of goats, and we got to hold a little goat named Columbus. And I said, please tell me Columbus is not going to be a leg of lamb one day. Oh, not Columbus. That's what they told us, but I don't know that I believe it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I see it all. Okay. Goat snuggling on the go. Goat snuggling on the go. Oh, so they bring the little baby goats to nursing homes and
nice.
stuff. Oh, they have a little baby pig too. Nursing homes, schools, fairs, staff
Nice.
development, churches, birthdays. They go in a little wagon. Yeah. And everybody can snuggle them. Nice.
Very nice.
I wonder how much it is to snuggle a goat. Oh, and their address is 333. That's the good number. Okay, so that's good, Jennifer. I'll have to look into the renting of the goats and the goat snuggling.
What a good time.
Do they sell goat soap and stuff? Goat lotion? Goat's milk soap? Yeah. Alpacas, those are interesting, yeah. I don't think they have a YouTube channel, though. They should, right? They give joy through their goat snuggling. Yeah, well, who wouldn't like to snuggle a goat? Greatest of all time. You're the goat. You know, when I first heard somebody say that, I thought that was an insult, right? When people would say the goat, and then they even had like a thing and it had a sound effect, and I always thought it was an insult, right? To be called a goat.
Too, yeah, I did too.
And then one day I went into my son's gym where he lives, and above the door, he has this plaque and it said goat. And I go, why? And he goes, greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, oh my God. Because I thought it was an insult.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because they were holding up like a little, and then it had like a sound effect, and they looked over there making fun of people with it. But greatest of all time. Yeah, now I know. Somebody calls you a goat, it's a good thing. You're the goat. Yeah, they sell goat milk, chapstick, and soap. Oh yeah, my friend up in upstate New York, up further upstate than me, she got me the Beekman goat milk soap and chapstick and lotion. Yeah. She was the first person I met from the channel besides the imposter J Bells. I believe so, right? Yes. first real person other than the imposter. That's the meaning. I know. Darby, I know. Listen to me. I found that out a few years ago, okay? I thought it was a bad thing. There were people that said it like a bad thing, too. They had a goat that would make sounds, and they would call somebody's name and make the goat make sounds and then make fun of them. Little did they know being called a goat is a good thing, but they didn't know it either, obviously. What happened to Scooter?
Right here, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. He has Facebook. Oh, it's a he? Oh, it's a guy? They would think it was a girl that was doing it. It's a guy. Oh, I'll have to check it out there, Darby. Jennifer.
Far from you?
No, I said I'll have to check it out. It's about 2.5 hours. Darby, where do you live? Do you live in Pennsylvania, Darby? Jennifer? But yes, being a goat or the goat is very good. I know, Hart. The screaming goat is just something fun, not an insult. As goats became more popular, people were very amused that they make that yelling noise. Well, there was a goat when I was a kid, and we would feed it all kinds of things. It even ate tin cans, and that was not good, but it would eat them. It was at a restaurant that we used to go to around here. It's crazy, and we used to just feed it things over the fence. Him and his wife. I don't know why goats eat tin cans, right? Why do goats eat tin cans? How does that not damage their intestines and everything? I don't get that. Then my sister-in-law had a goat living in a very upscale suburban town that we lived in New Jersey, and the goat was named Joey, and she would drive it in like her BMW to the vet. It was crazy, and then the goat would get loose all the time, and goats are escape artists. The farm down the road has some goats. A lot of times they get loose. Goats are a handful. We were going to get a pygmy goat once. My son Ray wanted one, and I had called up. I found out all about them. But goats are, they're a handful.
Go so I can get done here.
What?
Already?
What happened?
I'm gonna go so I can get done here.
Oh, okay. You just
It's getting
came to show
really
us
late.
there are pygmy
Love
goats.
you.
Yes,
Love
they're
you
very,
guys.
love you. Happy Easter.
Talk to you guys later.
All right.
Happy Easter.
Okay. Yeah, there's pygmy goats. They are cute, and I found out all about pygmy goats. But anyway, so this was fun, right? We have some new people. We have new people meandering in here every night, which is great. And make sure you're subbed up to us, Jennifer Darby. We do a lot of different things here. We're not always just true crime. We do different things. Let me see here. I was just trying to see something. Hold on. No, I don't want to do that. I want to go to there. Hang on. Leave. Yeah. Hang on. I've got to just check something really, really quick. So, I know there are people that watch the goat things. I think that I think Gail B or somebody, she watches it. What did Daniela say to me? Oh, isn't that nice? Danielle said, "You are my favorite journalist and YouTube creator for true crime. I enjoy listening to you." Thank you so much. That's sweet, isn't it? It's very sweet. Thank you. That is so sweet. Okay. Let's started watching Chris Watts' Mother. Oh my goodness. I always love your music. Oh, thank you. You too. Sorry, I had to answer somebody. It's very nice. All right, I think we're going to call it a night. We got to see Scooter's dishpan hands. We got to meet some new friends. Very nice that you came in, Jennifer Derby. That was very nice telling us all about that stuff. We'll definitely check that out. You're subbed up good. They're highly intelligent. Yeah, you have to come back and see us. We're on every day, God willing. And we talk about all kinds of things. You never know. It's like a box of chocolate in here. But we usually, whatever we end up doing, is sometimes it goes back to the beginning. But anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Easter for those of you that celebrate Easter. Happy Easter. And I hope you have a great day. Maybe I'll come live from the road when we're out. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Be safe. Stay well. If you're traveling, be safe, and peace, love, and life. May the Lord bless you and protect you and give you his peace. And God bless you all. And love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Be good. And pray for everyone in our community. Everyone needs prayers. You can't have too many. All right. See you guys. Good night.